W in the win column, but how much did you guys need this win tonight after that rough game?
You know, it's a crazy sport, isn't it? You have a night where you feel like you do everything right and you lose the game, and then you have a night where you miss 4 free throws and you win the game. And it just goes to show you that you just have to show up and play, because you can't. I think what I'm most happy about for this team is that they shook off that really, really devastating loss on Wednesday to come back and play this hard against a really good Fresno team. Fresno actually took Wyoming into double overtime at Wyoming. That's a good team, and I'm excited for how our game is starting to develop as far as, everybody knowing what their role is and doing their part and doing the things that they do best to help us win games. So I thought it was a very good team effort all the way around.
You could see Maddie's confidence on defense. How much have you seen her confidence evolve?
Well, it's been so much fun to watch her have this kind of a breakout season. She's put the time in. She's such a great young lady and very, very, very stoic and yet just gets it done. Her temperament, personality is a lot like Sierra Winters, who used to do the same thing, just go out and make the biggest play of the night, and you'd never know it by looking at her face. So it's nice to see Madison finding her game, finding her way, and you could tell. It's not like Madison sneaking up on anybody. They ran all kinds of people at her.
That was your game in the first half. The second quarter, they started to find their momentum. What was your message at halftime?
I thought the pressure really dropped off in the second quarter, and that we had shown a lot of good pressure in that first quarter and really kept them off balance. And then I thought we got a little tired, and we were just sometimes it's hard to see the difference. Obviously, as their coach, I can always see it, but it's a subtle difference of somebody of an offensive player moving and we're there, or an offensive player moving and then we're following. And so we had to get back to the pressure. We had to get back to keeping them off balance.
It's always during these close fights that you learn most about your teammates. Do you see your team starting to learn more about each other?
Oh, I think the other thing that was kind of noteworthy tonight is that we didn't have Joe Huntemer. We didn't have, and at one point we didn't have Joe or Taylor. So we had neither point guard, and yet they still just kind of hung. They did pretty well, actually. So I think it's good that we're playing the system we're playing. I think it serves these kids really well. But it also comes down to just, these guys are, sometimes they're a little, I give them a hard time because I try to, give them pep talks or, get them going or whatever, and they just look at me like, no change of expression, so you feel like you have to dance a little two-step or something. And that's just their personality, and I think it serves them well a lot of times.
Next game, what do you think needs to be cleaned up? I know you talked about defense. Do you think it's still on the defensive side of the ball?
Boy, I thought we did some good things defensively. I don't know that anything needs to be cleaned up. We can always get better. We can't, we lost those 3-point shooters there through that one stretch, and we've got to take a look at that. But they hadn't been shooting it all night, and then all of a sudden, boom, 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 they hit 3 in a row. And so we need to take a look at that play has gotten us before, that weak side screen, and we got to figure out how to be ready for that, because we get burned on that like at the worst times. Several times that's happened in games, and because an opponent doesn't run it until all of a sudden they run it, and we have to learn to identify it sooner. And they were changing up defenses, and it took us a little while to get going again when they went back to the zone. So I think, again, just switching gears like that back and forth between our man offense and our zone offense is something that continues to need some work.
They were definitely aggressive tonight. Was that your message going into this game, that they had to be aggressive and scrappy?
That's just that's how we play. That's our message every game. I don't know if you see we're really tiny, so we got to get after people. And if we don't get possessions off turnovers, we're going to have a really hard time in the possession battle because it's hard for us to out rebound people. It's rare, very rare, for us to out rebound somebody, and I'm sure we didn't tonight. I'm sure we weren't even close. But we did it with the turnovers.
After last night's game, how much did you need this win tonight? Not just for a W in the win column, but mentally, how much did your team need this?
I think we really needed it. We came in to shoot around this morning, and we were all really ready to get a win. And I think the loss against Wyoming really upset a lot of girls on our team, and we were ready to do everything we had to do to get a win. So.
Towards the end of the second quarter, they started to find their momentum. What was your guys' game plan to put a stop to that?
When we went into halftime and they were kind of on their run, Coach G just told us that we had to get back to the defense we played at the beginning of the game, just pressure them and try to get them to make errors, and then we would catch our rhythm on our side of the court. So.
During these close games, what do you learn about your teammates?
I think we really learn how many people are willing to step up to make sure that the team is successful. Like, Milani Perry's had a great last 2 games, and she's just been stepping up, and we didn't really know that she was capable of that, and now we do. And same thing with Nikki McDonald. She's been huge in these roles. Yeah.
You were on fire tonight. Your coach actually talked about last press conference how much you've grown. Do you feel like you're doing less thinking now and just more just playing the game?
Yeah, 100%. Last year I was very nervous and just trying not to make a mistake, and now I feel like I've kind of got into my rhythm where I can just play the game that I love and have been playing for so long.
What was working for you specifically tonight?
Tonight, I think getting into the key and trying to get to the free throw line, that was working best for me, and that's how I got my points tonight.
And anything you're looking forward to next game?
Just trying to get another win with my team. We've been playing really well and working really well together, and I can't wait to see the progress in that category.
Coach always talks about defense. Do you think next practice you guys are going to be doing a lot of defensive drills?
Yeah, we always do, so that doesn't really change.